folks, to Bristol Motor Speedway and the iRacing Warriors League Cup Series. I'm your host, Rick Souza, with my co-host, John Derudris, and we're here to bring you 200 exciting laps with this league. John?
Yeah, Rick. Yeah, it's going to be a fun Bristol 200 here tonight. This is race 9 out of 12 for the iRacing Warriors Motorsportz Cup Series. So the season is winding down, and so is the qualifying time here. We got about 3 minutes left to get these qualifying laps in, and at the top of the board, you have Luke Bullard there running a 14.79, the fastest time out of anybody right now, ahead of Christopher Howell, who was first in practice. So Luke Bullard there in the number 3 machine, getting it done. We're taking on board at the only Audi in the field, Rick, the 66. There he is running he hit the wall, so that lap will not count. But that's Kublai Kalin there in the 66. He's been running that all season long. But right now, we are about 2.5 minutes away from the end of qualifying and the start of always a very exciting Bristol race. And, yep, see, there you go. That's one of my keys to the race, getting loose off the corner. He just did it right there. So, Rick, it's going to be a fun one for sure.
It sure is. And we got Brad Previtt, who's currently just starting his qualifying attempt. And we'll see how Brad does here.
You can see him warming up the tires there in that Leisure Trailer Sales number 9 machine. Really cool paint scheme there for the number 9. And let's see what he can do, as we have 10 drivers already on the board here tonight out of the 15 to 16 cars that have registered. So take a look on board, riding around Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee.
That first lap is really hopefully get some heat in those tires. Well, it looks like he's basically just taking he's just getting around. Yeah, based on that time, John, of a 16.62, I'm thinking Brad just wanted to see how his car was going to handle here at Bristol.
Yeah, more than likely that's what he was doing. And we are now a minute away from the start of the Bristol 200 here, race 9 out of 12. So, Rick, if we can, let's pull up the point standings really quick to get a good idea about where these drivers stand 9 races into this 12-race season. On the top of the board, you have Christopher Howell there leading the points, taking a nice commanding lead over the rest of the field, followed by John Ledger in second, tied for Paul Valenstein there, and then Mark Feeney in 4th, Evan Amick in 5th, Jonathan Woods in 6th, Kublai Kalin in 7th, Dean Sprinkle in 8th, Dave King in 9th, and Bradley Previtt rounding out the top 10, 106 points behind Christopher Howell. So Christopher Howell has a little bit of a stranglehold on the field right now, and so does the top 3, because the only closest driver is Mark Feeney, who is 50 points back from 2nd and 3rd. So, Rick, they have a little bit of work to do, but it looks like we are going to get this race going here very soon. The grid has started.
All right, so we can bring up that. Okay, so here is your grid for tonight's Bristol 200.
Up front, you have Luke Bullard there with a 14.793, followed by Christopher Howell. He's definitely going to be on the prowl tonight in P2. Harley Barletta starting in P3. Derek M. Garrison in P4, a new name to this league, and then Ian Ogden, another name that we have not seen very much of this season. He rounds out our top 5.
In 6th, you've got Dave King in the 18. In 7th, Kublai Swan in the 66. In 8th, you've got John Ledger in the 19th. In 9th, Brandon Berrier in the 58. Paul Valenstein is in 10th in the 89. 11th in the 9 is Brad Previtt. And 12th is Zachary Allen.
In 13th, you have Elliott Swope. 14th, Travis Murgaard. 15th, Freddie Durstog Sr., And then rounding out your field tonight in 16th place is Evan Amick out of Southern E Motorsportz. Those last 5 drivers did not make a qualifying run, which could actually help them out, Rick. This is going to be a very hectic race. It's Bristol, so we know there's beating and banging all the way around this track. So we'll see what happens tonight here. And the field should be getting ready to go here in about 10 seconds. What a nice paint scheme, though, by the 3. That Budweiser car looks sharp there for Luke. So look to see if we can get that number 3 in victory lane. Talk to him, or maybe it's the 88 or the 5 or the 81. Who knows what's going to happen? It may be Evan Amick all the way back in 16th. That'll bring home the win here tonight, but we will see as pace car rolls off.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be, this is Bristol, so lap times are fast. Your average time is somewhere in the 14 to 15 second range, so laps will go by very quickly.
Yes, they will.
You've got a lot of action. Bristol feels sometimes like you are just in a constant turning left event. So
absolutely. So let's bring up the track backs here tonight as they are going to come to 1 to green, Rick. We have 200 laps here tonight, 55% fuel, so they will have to come down that very slow pit road of 35 miles an hour, 1 quick repair, and 4 sets of tires here tonight. Track temp is cool, so that means a lot of grip as these cars are about to get 1 to green. Really quick, though, 3 keys to the race. Number 1, stay out of trouble. That's going to be my key to the race. It's Bristol, so you've got to stay out of trouble. Number 2, corner exit, be gentle. Don't try to force it off the corner. And 3, I think you're going to see green flag stops, so pay attention to what side of the track you're on. The driver who's going to have the best race will be able to get on and off pit road effectively, Rick. So those are my 3 keys.
I think we are getting ready. Lights are off on top of the pace car to go green and kick off this Bristol 200.
Pace car is off pit road. They are in the Geico restart zone, and we are green flag racing at Bristol with the 3 of Luke Bullard taking control.
Well, we're side by side. Oh, the 66 just spun.
And that should bring out our first caution of the night because he did come back up the track. I'm going to be very surprised if he doesn't. But that number 66 machine is going to need a quick repair early on in this race. No caution out yet. Lap 2 of 200 going around here. And a lot of action on the track. You see Valenstein there and the 88 fighting. You see Dave King there in the 18.
We're scrolling back through the field now to kind of see what's happening behind our leaders.
Yeah, and this is the fun part about Bristol, Rick. You always have action all throughout this track, so it's a very interesting race to call because around every corner there may be a pass or there may be something going on. And look at that 77 machine. He is driving a Joker car. Evan Amick all the way up to 12th, starting in P16. So we will see what happens, see if the Joker can come home and steal one tonight. He is looking for a good points day. But right now, we're already 5 laps into this 200-lap event, and Luke Bullard is your leader, followed by Garrison in second, Barletta in third, Dave King in fourth, and then Christopher Howell rounding out your top 5. But don't look too far. Garrison is on the tail of Bullard, and he's closing very fast. Wow, he made great corner exit by the 5, and the 5 is just going to go right around that 3.
He has certainly found that low groove, and he's worked his way around Luke Bullard in second place.
Whoa, little double vision there. It looks like that is another 5 car, but that is actually Freddie Durstock, 13 on the leaderboard. But as that lap traffic plays a factor into this race, which it will, that allows the 3 car to go side by side with the 5. We'll see who has the momentum coming off of turn 4. They may battle side by side, Rick, for a few laps. That's what can happen here early on.
Well, that low line seems to work pretty well for Luke Bullard.
Yes, it does. And give a little quick update from the YouTube chat. Dave says, all right, Paul, time to get it done. So your boy Paul is back in 12th, the first car on the lead lap. Because now we have 3 cars off the lead lap and 1 car out of it. Elliott Swope obviously is not on the track. and sailing there. And the 66 is 5 laps down, followed by Previtt. And you see the number 9 of Previtt go another lap down, Durstock being 1 lap down as well. So, as it stands, 5% into this race, Garrison is your leader, Bullard in second, King in third, Barletta in fourth, and Christopher Howell rounding out your top 5.
Let's run back through the field a bit. We see that there's a little bit of a gap. Oh, for caution.
Yeah, we do have our first caution, and I thought it was going to be a little bit quicker. But let's see what has happened back in the field.
Brandon Barrier, possibly. Let's go back.
I think it was Brandon Barrier. Got a little bit of stack up coming off the corner. Dives it down deep, definitely gets loose off of turn 4, and overcorrects, and then there's Freddie Durstock getting into the right rear of that number 58 machine. So a good thing that they have quick repairs, Rick. A good thing they have quick repairs, because it'll be needed here tonight. But only 13 laps will run there, so I'm going to keep track of this. We got a caution on lap 13, so I'm going to pay attention to see what these drivers do. They only have 4 sets tonight, so you got to basically conserve your tires. You have about 50 laps, 40 to 50 laps on each set if you want to space it out equally, but I definitely see them having a longer run than that. So, Rick, 13 laps in, do you expect to caution this early on, or do you think it was going to come sooner?
Frankly, I was thinking it may have come a little bit sooner, but I would expect an early caution. It's inevitable. You've got a night race. You've got Bristol, you've got this next-gen car, and this track tends to, it takes some precision getting around Bristol in the 14 and 15 second time frame. So, yeah, I expect
it does. Yep. So we are going on 15 of 200 tonight, and Rick, we already have some early trouble going on with we have Salem there obviously getting loose, and that was my biggest worry, is cars getting loose off the corner exit. And you've seen that from Barrier, you've seen that from multiple drivers here tonight. So I think that's going to play a major factor in who can win this race. But looking out now, the number 5 of Derek Garrison, a new face, is your leader. He is started 4th, so he's making a nice comeback. And let's give a shout out to Zachary Allen, who has moved up 5 spots since the caution. Travis Murgaard has moved up 6 spots, and Evan Amick has moved up 7 spots. So people from the back, looks like they are taking a strategy that a lot of people would be very hesitant to take, because, Rick, it's Bristol. There's going to be wrecks. So if you get caught up in the chaos, there's really nowhere to go.
No,
because the track is so narrow.
It is so narrow, and it also tends to clean itself, which is good and bad. So you may think you've cleared the wreck, you may think you've gotten through it, and then that car that was up top is going to come right back down. So
exactly,
it's really got, there's, I think any time at Bristol there's a little bit of luck involved in anything, whether that's just it's winning or surviving. There's a little bit of luck. You've got to have that horseshoe in your back pocket. So.
Yes, you do. It's a lot of surviving, and that's going to be the battle tonight, is attrition. Who can just make it around? Now, they do have 1 quick repair, so everybody should be back ready to get going. But you got to remember, we have an incident in the back with Paul Valenstein and Freddie Durstock. Looks like the field checked up on the bottom lane, and the 90 or the 89 and the 5 now have damage. But Rick, let's go back to the front. We are going to get green flag racing right now. Pace car is off. We are green flag racing again. Garrison and Bullard there, 1 and 2. Harley Barletta, Dave King also going side by side. You have the 6 of Murgaard and the 11 of Zachary Allen as well. So you have a lot of battles on the track, but the number 5, very familiar number 5, takes the lead. He's running the ever so famous Kyle Larson paint scheme.
He is, and I think that there's a lot of trading positions happening in the back of the field as we kind of scroll back through and pick up Christopher Howell. He is in a tight battle with the 11 of Zachary Allen, and followed by Travis Murgaard. There's a lot of jockeying for position, 2 wide through these corners here at Bristol.
Yeah, we have a big pack right there, Rick. That is definitely scary for some of these guys who are trying to make their way back up through the field. because you can see what just happened right there. You have basically the accordion effect happen with the 6 and the 77, which can be an issue all race long, especially when they get into lap traffic. So Rick, let's talk about this. Lap traffic is going to be a factor here in this race. Do you think lap traffic will influence who wins?
I think lap traffic could not only affect who wins, but just again that survivability, because you're going to find cars that are just getting around that will wind up in front of you, and whether that blocks you or puts you in the wall, it's going to be something you're going to have to deal with. And just as of note, Evan Amick has moved up 9 spots, Zachary Allen 8 spots.
Yeah, so they are definitely on the move. That Joker car is looking to laugh one away and take one away from these front runners. He is all the way up to P7 and looking on the back door of Harley Barletta and Zachary Allen, and the 6 goes down. That's Travis Murgaard. He was up basically 7 positions from P14. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, you are looking along at Evan Amick and the 10 car. Evan's car looks really solid right now, Rick.
It does, and right behind him, that 10 of Ian Ogden is right there. They are there with Harley Barletta in the 81, and Harley's behind Christopher Howell. So that's a group of good drivers. That's Paul Valenstein moving up underneath there. So there's a lot going on back here in the field. We'll jump back up to the lead in a bit just to kind of update you as what happens, but don't want to miss what's happening right here with the 89 of Paul Valenstein kind of cutting up through the field.
Yeah, and there you go. I mean, you can see where this is going to become a major battle right here. Whoa, Evans up the track. There's going to be a wreck. Big time. Yep, there it is. Caution's going to fly. You saw that right there live, Rick.
Yep, absolutely.
Good camera control. You saw that right there. The 77 just came right up into the 10 car of Ian Ogden, and that's the product of this was happening. You've got to be gentle on corner exit or you will slide, and Evan Amick was in a very vulnerable position right there because he was coming off the bottom side of the track, which if you're running that line, you're going to slide right up against the wall. Yeah,
I think he may have pinched the 10 a bit. We'll just kind of take a look at this, and as a viewer, just if you watch the seams in the pavement, you can kind of get a feel for the line, and you can see the 77 slightly drifted up, and the 10 tried to avoid him, but unfortunately there's just so much real estate.
Yep, nowhere to go, Rick. Unfortunate, but it looks like that 77 doesn't really have that much damage, so maybe he can save that quick repair for a little bit later on in the race when he may need it a little bit more. Hopefully he may not be down on horsepower, but right now it looks like he is going to come down pit road and get that Joker machine at least some fresh tires, because those tires are going to be screaming after that incident. And let's talk about this too, Rick. This is a double entry pit road, so that means if you to enter pit road, you have to enter on the back stretch, and your pit stall is on the front stretch. So that is going to play into my third key of the race, pit road. Got to know where your pit road stall is. If you don't, then you're really going to be in a rude awakening when you realize you're going down the wrong pit lane.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, that time. So if you calculate, the pit stop is great. A normal pit stop, fuel only, is somewhere shy of 7 seconds. However, to get on this double entry pit road, the time on pit lane is 52 seconds. So you've got a lot of time. And when you consider a lap, especially thinking green flag, a lap is 14, 15 seconds. You could legitimately lose 3 to 4 laps.
Oh, absolutely, and especially if you have an issue on pit road, Rick, you're definitely going to lose 4, at minimum 3, and you just have to come back and try to fight back. So that's why green flag pit stops will probably be one of the deciding factors here tonight. But right now, we are 33 laps into this 200-lap event in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. If you're watching along on YouTube, make sure to subscribe like this video so we can get shown to more racing fans and more sports fans all over the ether of what YouTube is, and we can grow this network of iRacing lovers and racing fans. So like and subscribe, and we were going to be broadcasting this league for the next 3 weeks after this, because we are 9 out of 12, and we have the Speed Demon NSRL Grand National Series on Tuesday nights. A very exciting race last night at North Wilkesboro. So that was a good one to watch. But Rick, we are going to go green this time by.
We are. So our eyes are on Derek Garrison. He is pretty much in charge of this. Once he enters that Geico restart zone, this race is in his hands, at least this restart. So.
Yes, it is, and we will see what happens here. 5 cars off. Wow, no, that was not a very good restart for the outside line. That 5 car is checked out, and we have a stack up there for second and third on back, Rick. We may have another incident brewing because everybody is just stacked up going into turn 3 and turn 4 right now. That outside lane just was not moving, and here comes Allen there on the bottom side of the number 3. Here comes the 88 of Christopher Howell on the bottom of Dave King. Multiple battles going on the track, but Rick, that's just what this new restart rule in iRacing can do for you. It can get you out to a 1 to 2 second lead on the field, especially on a short track. It's going to matter a lot.
You got a tight battle between Dave King and Christopher Howell. That is currently a battle for third, fourth place. And right behind Dave King, you've got the 89 of Paul Valentine.
Yep, Paul Valentine looking good. Oh, a little loose there out of the 18 machine of Dave King. And that's what I was talking about. Corner exit, you got to be careful because your car is like, oh, yeah, I'm going to stick. And then at the last second, that thing's going to bite around and could get you in trouble. So right now, Garrison has pulled out to a 0.8 of a second lead. Let's see if we can, field seems to be spread out. Let's go through the field. Riding around now, there is Garrison there in the number 5 Hendrick Car Chevrolet out of the iRacing land. There's a second Luke Bullard there out of iRacing land as well in P2. In third position, you have Zachary Allen in another Hendrick Cars.com Chevrolet. In fourth, you have Christopher Howell in that Fanatec number 88 of Chesapeake, Virginia, looking to get him back up on the prowl. Got to say, Howell is on the prowl. And then in fifth, you have Paul Valenstein in the number 89 out of Wisconsin. And that is your top 5. Rick, take it on back from the 6th on back.
In 6th place, you've got Dave King from Charlotte, North Carolina in that iRacing Warrior Motorsportz car. Behind Dave, you've got the 6 of Travis Murgaard in that classic Valvoline paint scheme. Behind Travis, you've got Harley Barletta in the 81. Right behind Harley in the 9th position is Evan Amick in the 77 from Clover, South Carolina. And in our 10th position, you've got John Ledger in the 19 in that black Rifle Chevrolet.
There's Ian Ogden there in that Rowdy Energy number 10 machine. He was battling up earlier on, trying to get some traction on this track. There's Brandon Barrier in that number 58 machine out of Eden, North Carolina, 24-year-old. In that number 58 machine, see if he can get a good start and a good finish to this race. Freddie Durstock out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He is actually not in the number 5 on the board. He's number 13 on the board, but he is showing the 5.
And he is in 13th place.
You got Brad Previtt there in I believe he is in the 14th position out of Ontario in that number 9 machine. And then there is Kublai Kalin or Salin. Got to get a pronunciation check on that. But it looks like we have a stopped car, Rick?
We just I thought it was Evan Amick. I could be wrong in that. Let's go back.
Yeah, it was Evan. I mean, he was just completely stopped. Evan out of Clover, South Carolina. Not sure what happened there.
Well, let's go back and look. I think we may have this on video.
Oh, he tagged Paul Valentine, and Paul Valentine tagged him, and he went head first into the wall.
Let's get a different look if that's possible. Here we go. Looks like the 89 came down. Is that more of a net code there? What do you think?
That does look like a netcode issue, which you could see here. Looking on board, yeah, that was definitely netcode. Unfortunate for the 77, but I don't think this was netcode. Yeah, that was definitely contact there between the 77 and the 89 machine. So, yeah, you're right, Elliot. It is a really tough track, showing on the YouTube chat. And unfortunate there for that 77 because he was on the move.
He was. Looks like he's definitely broken something in that right front. He'll need definitely his fast repair to take care of that.
If he didn't already use it, you got to think about that too. He was involved in that earlier spin where he got collected with the 10 of Ogden. So Evan Amick back on pit road, and so is the entire field, Rick. This is the first pit stop of the day on lap 52 for all drivers. So you see everybody taking right sides, left sides, and it looks like everybody's making their way down pit road. And there's a 77. Car looks pretty good to me. My guess, Rick, is he used that fast repair.
He did here at lap 52 of 200. All right, we'll go back and kind of recap your field. At this point, I could be wrong, but I do not believe that your current leader, Derek Garrison, has gone down pit road at all.
You were very right there, Rick. He did not come down pit road. So Garrison taking the gutsy play and not coming down pit road when the entire field, literally the entire field, came down pit road. Do you think that's going to bite him a little bit later in the race once these tires start to kick in?
I don't know. He currently holds the, I think, the best lap right now at 14.80. He's been putting up consistent laps and great restart. So I don't know. We'll see what fresh rubber means to Christopher Howell, Luke Bullard, David King, and Harvey Barletta, who will be the 4 or 5 cars starting behind him.
Yeah, he definitely did not come down pit road, Rick. I just went back and took a look at the replay. He did not come down pit road. So this is going to be a very interesting strategy. I'm going to make a note of that. 5 did not pit. So let's see what happens here on the restart. He is the control car here, going green again. Lap 54 going on 55 of Schedule 200. These iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup cars are green flag, early racing there, early flag drop by the flagman. I don't even think that was controlled by Garrison. But the 5 back to almost a 1 second lead over Howell there in P2.
Good jump on the field with Derek Garrison. He is still running on the rubber he put on when he started this race, and you can see the difference. Christopher Howell has now moved up past him. Luke Bullard. These guys are just able to get past him.
Yeah, the last lap for Luke Bullard was a 14.9. The last lap for Garrison was a 15.5. And I think Garrison is going to drop here very fast because he does not have fresh rubber like everybody else on the track right now. So as you can see, the 18 just go by with these. You're going to see the 81 of Barletta go to the bottom side and go around probably with these right there. You can just see how much better those tires are. So right now, Rick, the 5 is just a sitting duck. I'm not really sure why he didn't pit. Maybe trying to save tires for the end of the race because he knows he has a fast car. I mean, that's the only thing I can suggest. But now you're kind of got yourself in a bit of a hole. What happens if there's no caution? Because there's not any stages, Rick. So if you get caught, he may be at the back of the field before all this settles out.
Well, and the concern is as he begins to cycle back through the field, he's going to put himself in a lot of traffic, and sometimes that traffic means a problem.
Yes, it does, and I just want to give a good shout out to Dave for explaining what net coding means. He definitely hit it right on the term. He said client-side prediction is what netcode is technically called. It is a network programming technique used in video games intended to conceal negative effects of high latency connections. So netcode is where you saw the cars didn't really touch, but they still got into each other. That is the effect of basically.
Right, that's basically.
So good job, Dave.
Yeah,
thanks for helping us out there. That definitely.
Yeah, I mean that's iRacing being in their algorithms predicting of what could happen or what should happen.
Got a loose car. He's
That's
still
the 11.
sideways, and there's a caution. Yep, that did bring out a caution, I believe.
Well, that's a timely caution for Mr. Derek Garrison.
Yes, it is. I mean, he's got to come down pit road, Rick. That number 5 car, his last lap time was a 15.8, which is a full second off from the leader there of Howell. I guess I understand the move, but I mean, for a couple laps to what these have now on their tires. Oh, big checkup in turn 3. No drivers involved, but right now, I mean, that 5 has to come down pit road and get tires because he is basically a second slower than the rest of the field. So that means if you do the math, 15-second lap times, Rick, he would be a lap down here in the next 15 laps if he does not come down this time by. So pit road should be, actually it is closed. Pit road is still closed on the track for the leaders, but the 5 actually is going to come down. That was weird. The lights on the pace car were red, or lights on the pit road entry were red, but here comes the 5. So 5 is making his way down. He pitted on lap 66, where everybody else pitted on lap 52. So about 10 laps there difference when you consider caution laps. Rick, I don't think that 10 lap count is really going to matter that much because we didn't really get that many green flag laps.
Nope. And as you can see, that's a long drive down pit road. Even with this pace car out there, the pace speed is 45 miles an hour. Pit road is 35. You can do the math.
And you're going to see that pace car coming around turn 3 and 4 right now, so that 5 is going to have to get on it here pretty soon. I think he'll be able to get off just fine. Oh, there they are. There it is. There's the camera that we were looking for. So that is the difference right now. There is the number 5 on the bottom right-hand corner now going up your screen. There he is coming off of pit road. So he will be the last car on the lead lap that besides Freddie Durstock or Zachary Allen, depending on if they come down and stay on pit road for a long period of time, Derek Garrison is shown in P11 right now. So he's going to have to do some work.
All right, we'll jump back up with our leaders. Lights are still on the pace car, but I expect those to be turned off as they cross the start-finish. We are seeing some potential connection issues with the number 3 of Luke Bullard. You may hear us referring to that as blinking, but what that really means is that as that driver is connected to the iRacing servers and system, he may have some glitches or internet issues, and that causes his car to blink in and out. So if it's just a blinking, it's not quite so challenging, but if it's an extended period, that car appears and then reappears in a different position.
Yes, it does, and that's definitely going to be troublesome on a short track like Bristol, because what happens is if you blink out for an extended period of time, Rick, you may pop up in the middle of somebody's driver's seat. So we'll see what happens. Let's hope that connection issue gets solved. I mean, I know it's happened to me before. I've been the one on the connection issue side, and I've been the one on the other driver's side where I just have a random car pop up. So looks like he should be good, but we are coming to green this time by. Pace car is going to make his way down pit road. 88 is your control car. They are in the Geico restart zone, and we are green flag racing again at Bristol. 69 going on 70 laps into this 200-lap event, and Howell has taken the lead, and he is on the prowl, Rick. Oh, he got loose out of turn 2, and here comes the 3 on the bottom side. that was my second key to the race, corner exit. You got to be gentle. You got to be careful not to spin your tires, and we'll see what happens now.
Eric Garrison has already moved up 3 spots from his restart in 11th.
Yep, he is all the way up to P8 right now on the bumper of Ballenstein right there. Looks like we have the 3-car loose, major loose conditions out of the 3-3s, dropping back very fast. 3 got loose, and it looks like the 5 is on the back bumper of Ballenstein right there. So let's go on that battle. There we are. This is going to be pretty much the car we want to watch. See how he can go back up and move through the field, because we have a caution.
Yeah, that's
not
Brandon Barrier, I believe, may have spun. Let's.
Yep, and I heard some other drivers talking over the radio, Rick. So this is involving multiple drivers right now. Pace car is checking up, and you can see the field stack.
Yep,
but let's see if we can go back and take a look at what happened in that wreck. There's Brandon Barrier on the track.
I'm going to back that up a bit because there may have been an earlier incident.
Could have been.
Yep. Let's get a. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go all the way back and basically watch this from turn 3 and 4.
Yep, I think this maybe this should give us a better view. So right now we're kind of following the 58 car of Brandon Barrier, kind of watching not only what he's doing but what's happening ahead of him. So far so good. Definitely the number 5 car is right on the tail of the 89. I think that's the Freddie Durstock car.
Yeah, and you can see the 58 getting out of shape right there. That was my second key again. Corner exit, you got to be gentle because it's so easy to drive. I don't see anything that should bring out a caution. I mean, he's sideways, but he's not sideways enough to where I think it would bring out a caution.
Yeah, I don't think he's fully he's doing his best to maintain control. Oh, here comes the 11.
Yep, currently going up the track. Does he tag the 11?
Nope.
No contact there. I think another car is about to enter the frame, Rick. That is a 77 of Evan Amick. We will see what happens here. 58 gets loose again. And Evan, nice evasive driving there. It looks like the 58 just got out of shape again. And you can see that right front tire just bounced. That toe link is broken. You can see how sideways that tire is. So in these new next-gen cars, they have independent suspensions. So when you hit your right side or your left side, you could completely break what's called the toe link, which basically just holds the tire there. And you saw that tire wobble around. So the 58 is going to have a broken right front toe link. Unfortunate there for that 58 machine.
I'm going to just jump up. There may have been a secondary incident.
Oh, going to pit row or coming to everybody stopping. We'll see what happens here. There's the 10, and then there's the 5. Side by side. Nothing as of yet. Huh.
Interesting. All right, well, we'll go back live. We'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, there goes Brandon Barrier sliding in on that replay, but he's trying to get back on this track and get back in this race. But right now, we are 78 out of 200 with, looks like that is Alan, wow, I'm thinking of the NSR League. Howell there in P1 with Dave King now up to P2 with the mishap and the troubles from Luke Bird there all the way back in P, I believe he is in actually, well, not down in P12, so unfortunately there, but it looks like Rick Pacecar's off.
We're about to go back to green.
There we are, green flag racing again. Ooh, that was a nice camera. I like that angle. Let's see what happens now going into turn 1 off of turn 2. A lot of cars slipping and sliding all throughout this track, but Christopher Howell is definitely taking control of this race. The 81 of Barletta is now moved up to P2. And don't look too far back, Rick. Here comes the 5 in P5, looking to go to P4, going on the bumper of Paul Valenstein there, or Valenstein rather. There he goes, probably going to get a run. Oh, Valenstein shuts the door on him.
And King shuts the door on him as well.
Everybody, and that's the product of Bristol. You don't know really what that driver in front of you is going to do, and
that was close.
Yeah, close battle there.
Little bit of potential contact between the 89 and the 5.
5 is going to take the high side, which is the preferred line right now, so that's going to leave the 89 on the bottom basically out to dry.
Well, I think Paul's battling back, trying to hold on to that position.
Ooh, and you saw the 5 just get really loose right there off the corner exit. That 5 is driving it hard. Let's hope he can keep that thing straight, and he does. Number 5, Derek M. Garrison up to P4, where he actually started this race. So he is up to P5, now looking to P3, going underneath Dave King right now. And he's going to try to do what Valenstein couldn't do to him, which is pass on the bottom side. So we'll see how good this 5 car is. 18 has a run off the corner, typically what you would see on the high side. Here comes the 5 again on the bottom. 18 is going to have another run coming off the corner, and he doesn't actually. 5 shuts the door on him, so put Derek up to P3.
So Christopher Howell is our leader. Harley Barletta is in P2, and Derek Garrison is now in 3rd place.
Yep, you have Dave King in 4th, Paul Valenstein in 5th, Zachary Allen in 6th, Ian Ogden in 7th, John Ledger 8th, Evan Amick in 9th, Travis Murgaard rounding out your top 10, and the first car lap down, actually, the first car that was a lap down was Travis Murgaard now because he went down pit road or something happened. But that means the last car on the lead lap is Freddie Durstock there in P10. So right now we're seeing what happens. You have a 3-way battle between Howell, Barletta, and Garrison right there, Rick. These 3 cars are under a blanket.
Derek Garrison battling hard against Harley Barletta to take over the P2 position.
It just seems like the 5 of Derek Garrison just knows how to drive off the corner just a little bit better than the 81 and the 88 there. I mean, just look at the corner speed that the 5 has, but also get ready because lap traffic is coming up.
It sure is. That's going to hopefully the leaders will get through that cleanly. Now remember, this is a fixed setup league, so what you see is what you get. These drivers are all driving the same setup.
You see a pick there by the 9 that doesn't allow the 5 to get by, and then here comes the 5 again on the outside. And another pick by the 66. That's what's going to happen now. You'll see these lap down traffic, and here comes the 5. 5 is going back to the lead here, and with ease takes control of the race.
Well, as you know, we talked earlier about the impact of lap traffic on this race, and you just saw a prime example of how whether that's the leader or the position, took advantage of the lap traffic and used it to their advantage in gaining position.
And that 5 car is checked out to over a 0.6 of a second lead now between Barletta and Howell there. And that's the battle on the track right now, Rick, between those 2 drivers, the 88 and the 81. They are now side-by-side racing for P2. And that is really the closest battle to the leader. But right now, Derek M. Garrison, he has a clean track in front of him, and that's what he wants to see. And he sees those guys behind him battling. It looks like Harley Barletta did take P2 away from Howell there. But Garrison, what a job coming up through the field. We have a wreck. That was the Valenstein machine. He was going backwards down the front stretch. I'm pretty sure he does not want to pull a Lightning McQueen here in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. Pretty sure driving backwards is not going to be the same speed. But let's go back on a replay and take a look and see what happened there. So you have a battle between the 11 of Zachary Allen and, oh, wow. 11 just got into the left rear of the 89.
I believe you are correct.
And there it is. You can kind of see right there. That's a perfect example of netcode. So that really shouldn't have happened, but it did, and I think the 89 was trying to correct. Let's go back on board with that 89 machine, and let's see what he saw, because it definitely looked like he tried to correct it going out of the corner to save that car, because that thing made a mad dash to the wall.
So with this car that Paul's driving, the Ford, our cameras aren't in exactly the same spot, so we'll have to wash his hands as we watch him pilot this vehicle.
Yeah, you can see him right there. He made that turn to the right, Rick. He was trying to save that machine. His driver there looks very calm and composed, not blinking once. Very, I guess, I don't even know what to call it. I'm not going to say he's used to wrecking, because Paul Valentine is a great driver, but he is definitely not feared by going headfirst into the outside wall. But looking right now, you have everybody making their way down pit road, it looks like.
Except
for Derek Garrison. So here we go again, pitting on lap 100, basically about 50 laps away from that last pit stop. We'll see what happens, because this is the same strategy that he pulled last time. And also, let's put into mention, Luke Bullard did not pit it as well. Luke Bullard, all the way back, he was one lap down, did not pit. So he actually will not get the wave around this time by, because he is behind the leader. That kind of puts him in a bad spot. We saw him running up in P2 for a while.
We did, yeah. The 3 of Luke Bullard currently is showing in 11th.
And there he is. Yep, letting everybody by.
So right now, your leader, Derek Garrison, so his pit strategy is slightly different than the rest of the field, whereas he pitted on lap 66, and the others pitted on lap about 52, I think.
Yep. So first round of pit stops for the entire field was lap 52. Garrison pit on 66. The whole field pit on lap 100. So we're going to have to see what happens here. By that standard, that means there will be a caution here in the next 14 or 12 to 14 laps on lap to 114 or 116, depending on how you want to look at this. So we'll see what happens with Garrison, but I expect him to drop back just like he did last time. But he will be the control car. So we will see what happens as the pace car is making his way to turn 3 and turn 4.
Everybody behind him, John, has 33 lap fresher tires.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a difference. It may not be as big of a difference as last time, but it will be a big difference. They are in the Geico Resource Zone. They are going green here. 5 car takes the lead again, going to lap 103, and he has checked out already to over almost a 1-second lead on the field. So he's like, I'm going to try to get out here as far as I can and have y'all battle behind me, because I know he knows they're going to be coming behind him. He just ran a 15.4 P2, just ran a 15.8. So very interesting there, but we will see what these lap times are this next time by around. Derek Garrison runs a 15.1. Christopher Howell runs a 15.1. Interesting, Rick.
Yeah, I'm not really kind of under the impression that, this is Bristol. It's a half-mile track. They're going to need a couple of laps a season in this fresh rubber, and we'll see some better lap times.
Yep, there was Derek Garrison running a 15.1 last time by, Christopher Howell running a 15 flat. Times at the line this next time by, you have Derek Garrison running a 15.1, Christopher Howell running a 14.8. So you can see right now that gap is closing, and here comes Howell. Howell is on the prowl, and here he goes around the 5. Whoa! Shoves him out of the way a little bit. He's like, excuse me. But now your new leader here in the Bristol 200 is Christopher Howell in that Fanatec 88, and we have a caution. Rick, that was not on
66 cue. Of Kublai may have come around.
Yep, and it looks like there's some chatter on the radio. I think there may have been some involvement with possibly another driver, not really sure. But that 66 did go around. We will, I'm pretty sure that's not the way you want to be driving around here. I mean, you could wall ride if you want, but I wouldn't want to wall ride in reverse. Let's go back and see what happened.
We'll run this at full speed. Let's see what we see. Well, that'll definitely spin you around.
Yeah, if another car gets into you a little bit, it looks like the 66.
It looks like he clearly drifted up.
Yeah, he definitely drifted up.
Tried to avoid him, but he had no place to go.
Yeah, had nowhere to go, and then you'll see right here. Let's keep on board with this 66. He just stays in the gas or kicks it in reverse or something because he goes all the way around turn 3 and turn 4 backwards.
Right. Let's get a different angle so we can get a feel for his tires here.
Yeah, let's see what's happening here because that was a very interesting ride. You know, I know I mentioned Lightning McQueen earlier, but I didn't think to expect to see a car going in reverse. I mean, those tires are definitely going backwards, so he's not sliding.
He is in reverse.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's in. He's definitely in reverse. So you have a live action Lightning McQueen going around, and he still rides that wall until he stops right there in the middle of turn 3 and 4, backs it all the way down. So, you can see the front end of that 66 basically completely has torn up the grill. It looks like he almost hit a pole of sorts because that front end is completely damaged. So I'm expecting him to come down pit road. And so, yeah, we have a comment on YouTube. Dave says, I'm still fascinated by the technology that it takes to achieve all of this. I started writing software in 1976, which the maximum modem connection was 300 bits per second. So that's definitely a lot of advancement in technology, and you're able to do what these guys are doing tonight, and you're able to broadcast like we are tonight. And what's the fastest lap you can run in reverse? I bet you could run sub 15 seconds. Rick, what do you think?
I don't know. These cars are geared to turn left, and it could be interesting.
It could be interesting. A NASCAR league that you're only allowed to race in reverse. I think you may be onto something, Dave. We'll see if that'd be a fun sight to see. But right now, it looks like we are getting one to go. This time by 89 left out of this 200-lap event, and your leader back again, Christopher Howell, followed by Harley Barletta, Dave King, Ian Ogden there, and then John Ledger all the way up from P8 up to 5th position. Keep in mind, Derek Garrison did pit that last time by, so he is in P9 looking to get back to the front. But we're riding on board with Dave King now for the restart. They're about to enter the Geico restart zone, and green flag racing again here in Bristol. Not as solid of a restart as we've seen from other drivers, but still a nice jump there by Howell.
Good job by Dave King. Dave has moved up 4 positions from his original starting position to be in P2 here at lap 114.
Yeah, what a strong run by Dave. He's I've watched Dave race and watched him over the last year or so, and he's gotten much better, and it's definitely showing. So shout out to him for some determination. He's going to try to look on the bottom side of the 88 there. Not quite there yet, but here comes the number 81 of Harley Barletta on the inside line. But shout out to Dave King. What a nice run he's put on tonight, starting in 6th all the way up to P2. Going to probably be P3 after the 81. Looks like has a little bit of a better car right now. But nice run by Dave there, running that IWM, iRacing Warriors Motorsports paint scheme.
So while we were focusing on the little bit of backwards driving of the 66, Derek Garrison did come down pit road and pick up his fresh tires. He's currently back in 7th, but expect to see him back up at the front momentarily.
Yeah, and even if it's not because of the tires, he just seems to be able to get out of a little bit of contact there between Harley and Dave.
I don't think Harley realized he was not clear and came up into the 18.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a spotter issue there, which can be the case here in iRacing. That 81 was not clear, but in the back of that picture, you saw that blue Chevrolet. That is the number 5 of Garrison. He is on. I don't want to take away Owl's little phrase there, but now Garrison is on the prowl, trying to come back and take away and pick off this field one by one. He has made his way up to 7th after that last caution.
Evan Amick is currently sitting in front of Derek Garrison. Evan, well, he was. He has now been passed by Derek.
On cue. Yep, on cue, Rick.
Well, yeah, exactly. But for that matter, Evan Amick has moved up 9 spots from the original starting order and is currently sitting in 7th position.
And we've seen him have major issues this race, so great job for that number 77 team, getting his car back out there, getting it all fixed, and getting it to where that Joker machine is in contention, because we know he's fast. He's not quite as fast as the 5, but he is one of the fastest cars on the track on the long run. So we'll see what happens now. 77 to go in this 200-lap event in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network. If you are watching along, we thank you, and we hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. And make sure to like and subscribe to not miss any of the action. But speaking about action, Rick, we got lap cars playing a major factor into that little run right there. But we are seeing a battle for 1, 2, and 3 between Hal, Barletta, and King. And Hal is riding that high side where Barletta is down on the bottom. Rick, I would actually like to prefer the top side just due to the run you get off the corners.
You would think, but something about the way that Harley Barletta is approaching this track, he seems to diamond that corner a little bit differently.
But it seems to work for sure for that number 81 machine. Now, on the long run, we'll see, but right now it is working.
Let's jump on board with Harley as he tries to run down this loop.
And you can just see how good of a run he gets off, but then that 88 is going to just have a little bit more speed on corner exit. You'll see it again here, revving out at 92,000. Well, not 92,000, 9,200 RPM. If that was at 92,000, Rick, I think his car would be blown up. But looking right there, you can see how he drives into the corner, tries to diamond it off. And he is a little loose, but he is able to gain a lot on corner entry. It's just like that 88 has a little bit more momentum off the corner. And you can see 3-lap cars in front of these leaders coming up on the number 9 there of Bradley Previtt. Oh, 9's loose. Woo-hoo. Rick, I've seen that happen a couple times where the leader gets taken out by lap cars.
And just so
not a
you're
pretty
aware,
sight.
in that rear view mirror, we can see the number 5 of Derek
He's
Garrison
back.
about to run down the 81 of Harley Barletta.
Yeah,
This is a good view. You can see in his rear view mirror.
Yeah, and that's going to force the number 81 to the high side, and he just lets the 5 go by. So play the Jaws theme, but it looks like the 5 is coming back.
Well, we got lap traffic right here.
Yeah, so this is going to play a major factor into where this goes. Oh, that's going to leave the door open for the 5. 88 is going to drop down, and a smart move there by Garrison to let that number 88 come back down the track. But right now, not 3 wide off the corner, not 3 wide. Nope, that won't work.
89 moved up, allowing Christopher Howell to go by, but he's dropped into position here, kind of impacting the run.
Whoa, you can see that 5 get really loose off the corner there. And the 5's going to have the momentum going into the corner. Just the 5 is able to carry so much momentum on entry and through the apex that is causing him to have the lead. So back to the front. I'm not going to confirm it because the 88 is still battling on the outside. Cue the Jaws theme, but it looks like Garrison is back up to the top position here tonight with 63 laps to go.
And again, he has slightly fresher tires by about 10 laps than the rest of these guys, so that sort of did not hurt him with that unexpected caution that came out, and he was able to recover. But we got another caution on the track.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Maybe Evan Amick?
No, I think this is Brandon Barrier. One more time, let's go back and Take a peek.
There's Brandon Berry on the inside line. I wonder if he stops it and tries to get out. That's exactly what he did, Rick. That is a big no-no in the eyes of the caution lords up there in iRacing. That will throw a caution because it's just the equivalent of a car stopping on the track. So that brings out another caution, 60 laps to go. So, Rick, this is the time where strategy is going to play a major role into this race. Is the 5 going to come down pit road? Is he not? It looks like he's going to stay out, but that field behind him is... No, he stays out, and a couple guys come in. Actually, I think
the field.
About half the field come in.
Yeah, I think, the majority of the folks on the lead lap.
Yes, he is. Yep, a lot of the lead lap cars are coming down pit road, which is going to leave Derek Garrison out again. As this goes on, the last pit stop from this field was on lap 100. The last pit stop by Garrison was on lap 108. So looking at those times right now, that was a 40 or about a 32 lap run there. So exactly the same number of laps that the last caution had on. So we'll see what happens now. Typically, once these cautions come out and everybody's on fresh tires, you see another accident, and then the 5 comes down pit road. So, Rick, if you were a betting man, would you say this happens again, where we have a caution in about 10 laps? You see the 5 come back down pit road, and he does it for a third time, gets back on a lead position.
Well, we kind of need to talk a little bit about tires, because they only have 4 sets, which was the first set when they started this race. We saw a caution at lap 50, right? Where they
lap 52. Down? Yep. So they used 1 set there, so that means they have 3 sets of tires left. They came down on lap 100. Yeah. That means
they started.
Yep. That
4.
Means they had. Yep.
They started with 4 total. They only had 3 to give away. So.
Oh, 3 to give away. That is correct. So yeah. So that looks like they came down, got fresh tires on 52. So you're down to 2 sets. Lap
99.
100, up 99, 100, that is 2 sets gone. And then it's last time by, that is a 3rd set. So
they're out of tires. This is the last. So they have used up all 4 sets.
I believe they have, and that's gonna make this a very interesting race. We've seen 50 lap runs before, very close to 50 lap runs. So we may see this race either go green, or this may end up being a tire conservation race, which is my one key to this race, is staying out of trouble, and you're seeing a lot of that, and that plays right into the tire strategy as well, because if you're staying out of trouble, you are obviously focusing on your tire strategy. And with that being said, we are about to go green, and the whole field has tires except for that number 5.
Well, he got tires at lap 109. So he is, and Evan Amick on lap 99. So the 2 cars in the front are on old tires.
Yep, and the outside line is not going. The outside line did not go that time, Rick, so inside line has a major advantage. Not really sure what happened there with Evan. I don't think he was in the right gear on that restart, which means back again, the 5 is your leader. But that puts Christopher Howell in P2, and that puts Ian Ogden in the 10 machine up into the P3 position.
56 laps to go. Christopher Howell is only, it's chipping away.
Yep, Howell is on the prowl. I got to say it. He is on the prowl right now because Garrison, I'm going to call Derek Jaws Garrison. I'm going to speaking of Garrison, he's in the wall. I want to give him that nickname. He is slowly dropping back because of those tires. So that last caution came out on 141. That's when they pit stopped. We got green at lap 144. So I'm paying attention to lap 155 for a caution. I believe we have a car in the infield. That was the 10 car getting a little loose. And there it is.
Luke Bullard has crashed.
Yep, Luke Bullard there has crashed. I thought I saw somebody go around. But this is interesting because they only have about 3 to 5 laps on these tires. I don't think that is enough to really make a difference because your tires are just basically getting up to temp.
Well, you know what's going to happen here, that the 5 of Derek Garrison is going to come down. We do this under caution. There are only 8 cars on the lead lap. Evan Amick is the last car on the lead lap, and you saw him cycle back pretty far after that restart. So you can see the 5 making his way down to the apron.
Yeah, that 5 car is definitely going to be the car to watch here to see what he does. He should be coming in this time by because that was turn 3 and turn 4. That was turn 1 and turn 2. They just went by, and here is going out. My bad, that was 3 and 4. So here's turn 1 and turn 2. Actually, I can't keep track, Rick. It's so confusing at Bristol. I think this is the backstretch. Yes, this is the backstretch. You have to enter on the back to get to the front. So 5 car is down pit road. He should be, after everything cycles through, he should be in P8. But right now it looks like Zachary Allen got the wave around. So Zachary Allen is back on the lead lap.
He is.
So the number 5 there is either going to be in 7th, or my bad, in 8th or 9th once this race gets back to green. And I would not want to leave your seat, folks. This is going to get wild here because that means the 5 car and the rest of the lead lap cars are out of tires. So with 50 to go, tires have been on, so you have to stick with this set for the rest of the race. And if we don't get any cautions, we may see a lot of slippy and slidey cars at the end of this run. That's all I got to say.
Watching here the 5 car of Derek Garrison. A number of other cars repairing some damage and coming in from some previous incidents. The 66 and the 9 are currently on pit road.
Yep, they're on pit road, and we should be getting the 1 to go signal this next time by from the pace car. So Rick, it's been a story of strategy here tonight. Really, it's the field against the 5. Basically, the 5 has had that offsetting strategy. What would you prefer? Would you want to be the field, or would you want to be the 5 there once this race comes to an end?
If I had a choice, I would think that Mr. Derek Garrison has a lucky horseshoe in his back pocket, because each time he found himself being out-positioned with pit strategy, a caution came out, allowing him to come back down and then work his way back up through the field. And here we are with 47, 46 laps to go, and now he is on fresh rubber, and he is currently showing in 7th position.
Yes, he is. And for everybody watching at home, this is going to be a fun battle to the finish. About 50 laps to go. We're going to enter the restart zone, and Howell is off. Green flag racing again here. 200 brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network, showing the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. We got 3 wide racing going on, coming out of turn 2. That is not what you want to see. It looks like everybody now cycles through and gets single file, Rick. But right now, you have Howell in P1, Ian Ogden in P2, Harley Barletta in 3rd position. My bad, that's John Ledger. John Ledger is in P2. Ian Ogden is in 3rd. Harley Barletta is in 4th. Dave King in 5th. Valenstein in 6th. And there's the good old 5 in P7. I don't know if it's going to play a big of a difference this time because they only had 4 green flag laps on that last run. But everybody's on very equal tires right now, except for the 5. 5 has a little bit fresher tire, so we'll see if that 5 is in fact better than everybody in the field right now. But looking on board, we see John Ledger pulling a Kevin Harvick. Haven't really talked about him much all race long, and here he is riding in P2.
There's a battle behind him for 3rd, 4th, and 5th between Harley Barletta, Ian Ogden, and Dave King. And Paul Valenstein as well. So Dave King trying to get around the 10 car of Ian Ogden.
Oh, we may have a caution, Rick. Nope, we don't. Valentine got a little loose. I thought he got sideways, but he was able to save it. That's what happens when you're on fresh tires. You may get a little loose. And just right there, you have the 5. Now, the 5 has not been able to really gain much, Rick. He is still 2.5 seconds back from the lead, now 2.3 seconds back. We will see how he plays out. But right now, that number 5 has to make up a lot of ground.
Well, I think that he's got the time. Based on his previous runs, I've noticed that he lets those tires wear in. It seems like there's a sweet spot here at Bristol with this tire, this tire model, and it's about 10 to 15 laps.
Yep, that is very true. And looking right now, that lead is slowly closing. But still, that means Valentine's getting closer to the lead as well. But right now, we have a 4-car blanket between first, second, third, and fourth between Howell, Barletta, Ledger, and Ogden, all battling for that spot. Here comes the 5 underneath the 89 of Valentine there. Not going to be able to do it this time by. Valentine shuts the door going into 3, which is what you would do.
I think it's kind of
19 sideways. Sorry, Rick, didn't mean to interrupt you, but the 19 got sideways and into the wall. Go ahead, Rick, for what you were going to say. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
that Derek Garrison's biding his time. There's a lot of slashing and dashing and dicing up at the front, so better to kind of hang back a bit. There's 36 laps to go. He does have some time.
Yes, he does, but also you got to remember, Rick, they will run about 4 laps a minute. So if you do some little quick math, with 34 to go now, if you divide that by 4, this race will be over in about 8.5 minutes. So don't miss anything. You're about to watch the end of this very, very caution. I mean, I wouldn't say caution heavy. It's been Bristol, but this very exciting Bristol 200 from the iRacing Warriors Motorsportz Cup Series here. And Howell is now putting a little bit of a lead on the rest of the field. But look, there he is. The 5 going to go around the number 89. So here comes the 5. I think we should cue the Jaws music, Rick.
Yep, so here you are. He paid a lap at 150. That's about 19 laps here at Bristol on these tires.
And he is definitely on the move, for sure. He is now moved up. He's going to clear the 18, going to P5. His next victim here is the number 10 of Ogden. They are still about 1.5 seconds back from the leader, but that 5 is making his way. Laps are winding down, 30 to go. So do not
he is running
miss
about
a second.
Nearly 2/10 faster than the lead car of Christopher Howell.
Absolutely. And Dave, you make a good point. So this is John DeRuger speaking with Rick Souza as well up in the booth. We are co-hosting this IWM broadcast network race of the iRacing Warriors Motorsportz Cup Series. So thank you for saying to announce our names, because I think we only announce our names in the beginning and the end. So that's a nice plug there, Dave. Appreciate that. But looking right now, as I was stating our names, the biggest name on the track when it comes to track position gain is the 5-car of Garrison, who has made his way all the way up to P3. So Garrison is on the move. And right now, don't look back, but Barletta is trying to get around at number 88 with 27 to go.
Well, with 27 laps to go, as you stated, John, it's never a dull moment here at Bristol.
No, it's not. So for everybody watching on board, don't want to miss it.
Lap traffic. So.
'66 kind of goes into the preferred lane of the leader there. 66 is actually now on the wall.
Yep.
And here comes another lap down car. That is a 9 of Previtt. We'll see what happens here. Previtt is now on the bottom side of the track. Previtt does stay on the bottom side, taking the leaders, giving them the preferred line off the corner. So great job there by the 9. And right now, that 5 is trying to get around lap down traffic, but he has closed the gap, Rick, to just about a second. That 5 is on the move with just 22 to go, coming by this next time by. So if you're doing any math at home, you're looking at about just under 5 to 6 minutes before this race is going to be over.
Well, he made his way quite well through that lap traffic, and now he's just got his sights on the leaders. He's not far behind.
No, he's not. And there comes a battle for the lead. Harley Barletta going to the inside line on Christopher Howell. Howell's going to have the run off the corner with 20 laps to go. And another lap down car is going to play a major factor in this, Rick. So we'll see what happens here. Yep, there's Evan Amick.
So this is
what is Evan going to do?
What Derek, that was a class move. He just basically got out of the way of the leaders.
Yeah, what a nice move there by the 77. But as that resulted, that has allowed the number 5 to slowly close that gap. Now it is only 1.2 seconds. It's actually gained a little bit. So right now, what these leaders don't want to see is a side-by-side racing, because side-by-side racing in these cars produces slower lap times.
Oh, the 88 went really high, was right up against the wall, and the 81 was able to slide underneath.
Yes, he is, and that 81 looks to be checking out from the 88, something that we haven't seen very much, but that 81 looks to have maybe found some speed. Let me go back and let me take some look at some lap times. I'm going to take them by this next time around, Rick, and see what these lap times are. At the line, you have Harley Barletta at a 15.6. You have Christopher Howell at a 16.1, and Derek Garrison at a 16 flat. So Harley Barletta is now your fastest car on the track, and he is gaining exponentially this last time by. He ran a 16.9. Christopher Howell ran a 16 flat, and Derek Garrison ran a 16.1. So right now, the fastest car on the track is that 81 machine of Harley Barletta with 15 to go.
14 laps to go.
And the man to beat right now is Harley Barletta. It looks like the number 5 of Garrison is actually falling back very fast, back to 2.8 seconds now on the leader. Christopher Howell is now over 2 seconds back from Harley as well. So Harley running, the race of his life right now. He's running fastest, some of the fastest times we've seen all night out of the leader. So he just ran a 15.9, and we are now nearing 11 to go this time by, Rick.
Yes, Harley Barletta was pretty much at a 15.92 that last time back. Christopher Howell 16.45, and Derek Garrison a 16.28. So Harley Barletta has come alive at the exact right time. And now he's put some lap traffic between himself and Christopher Howell.
Yeah, and Rick, just to say this, the lead has grown to over 3 seconds now. The fight is on for P2 between Garrison and Howell there. You have the number 81 checking out. There's the battle for P2. But Barletta there, is checking out from the rest of the field. He has now put over a 3.5 to 4 second gap on this field. So what a run there by Harley Barletta, basically saving his car to the end. And that's what needed to happen. You needed to be able to have your car ready there at the end of this race. And the race right now is between the number 88 of Christopher Howell for P2 and Derek Garrison there in P3. Everybody else is about 10 seconds back.
So we're just focusing on right now P2. Don't be confused on your screen. That's a lap car in front with that number 5 Hendrick. That's actually the 13 of Freddie Durstock, and is a lap down as these drivers work their way around the 66.
And here comes the 5. Whoa, Evan. Evan Amick almost got into the 5 car there of Garrison, which could have been mad trouble. But with 5 to go,
I think the 5 checked up of Garrison to avoid what the checkup of the 88. But that being said, we have 5 laps to go. Harley Barletta is 5.5 seconds ahead of the second place of Christopher Howell.
And barring another caution, Rick, the 81, unless a massive mistake happens, the 81 is going to come around this next time by 3 to go. He is looking on getting himself in victory lane to move himself up into the point standings. He is not even in the top 18. Well, my bad. Yes, he's in P13 rather. So a win here would be massive for this team going into the last 2 to 3 races of the season. Here he comes off of going into turn 3 and turn 4. We're going to ride along with the number 81 machine. See what he sees as he just got the white flag. So this race will be final after this number 81 makes about a 15-second lap time. So Rick, what a run by the 81 machine of Harley Barletta. He was able to stay out of trouble. He was able to be there at the right time. And Harley Barletta is your winner of the Bristol 200.
What a fabulous charge through the field we saw out of Harley Barletta here at Bristol.
Yep, Howell finishes in second, Garrison in third, Ogden finishes in fourth, Valenstein in fifth, Allen in sixth, and your rest of the field, you have John Ledger in seventh, Durstock in eighth, Evan Amick ninth, Kubele Salen there, or Kalen, we've got to get that pronunciation right, in 10th, King, Previtt, Bullard, Barrier, Murgaard, and Swope round out the rest of the field tonight. But what a run by the 81 machine, Rick. I mean, his car came on at the right time, and he was able to put everybody basically almost a half a lap down from the rest of the field. So very well-deserved burnouts there from the number 81 machine of Harley Barletta.
Just a fabulous finish. Obviously, we were all impressed here in the booth as we saw. Really, he wasn't on our radar. I mean, he was doing well through the field, and then here he was. I'm guessing we've got some teammates playing here.
I bet we do. I thought they were going to do what you saw down in Nashville one year with those or it was the Penske guys, I believe, that were doing some burnouts while facing each other. Pretty cool thing to see. But yeah, what a run there by the 81 machine. Don't miss a beat because we're going to get interviews with the top 3 as long as we were able to get them of Derek Garrison in P3, Christopher Howell in P2, and your winner tonight, Harley Barletta. So, Rick, why don't we try to get Mr. Garrison, if he's available, into the broadcast booth for what is going to be our P3 interview for tonight.
Yep, I would. I'd love to. I don't believe that Mr. Garrison is in the Discord session, or in the waiting room, but we do have Christopher Howell in here. Let's go ahead and bring in Christopher Howell. Christopher Howell, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
We're wonderful. You put on a great race tonight. We watched you charge up through the field, and we saw you at the end there. Tell us a little about what you saw, especially as Harley Barletta came out of nowhere, it seems.
Yeah, Harley did one of those Harley things again. Come get me at the end. But it's all good. It's it's competitive. We like that type of stuff. But I don't know. He just made the bottom work on the long run, and I don't get it because usually it's the mid to high line that conserves tires at Bristol. But it just worked for him. I don't know why.
Yeah, Chris, you spoke right on word. This is John, and it was something that I was noticing. He was able to really run the bottom line better than anybody, where you were running the majority of the top line, and I was like, if I had to prefer a line, I'd run the top. So, I mean, it obviously showed to be the way to go, but I mean, typically, the outside line is the way to prevail.
Yeah, it is. I haven't ran a whole bunch of Bristol. I mean, I've probably ran here a few times. I know the top line's the preferred line, but I have got some tips from some other guys over those races, some fast guys, and cutting down on exit saves tire, but for whatever reason, it just didn't save enough.
And we definitely saw some unique strategy with Harley, with Derek Garrison being off cycle on pit stops.
Yeah, I would go in, and then in the next caution he'd go in, and I kind of figured it was going to go down to me and Derek, but Harley snuck in there. Harley's a really good conservative driver. He knows when to go. So it's going to be hard to beat him because he knows how to conserve and be fast.
Exactly. Yeah, he reminds me of like a Kevin Harvick because he was there all race long, but in the end he was able to pull away. But still, don't want to take away from your time to shine here. Great run, starting in second, finishing in second. Great run tonight. Anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, my teammates Harley, John, and Ian. Ian is a new addition, and Harley is a new addition as well. He started a couple weeks ago with us. And also, I just want to get a shout out to the points lead. I'm still maintaining as the champ right now.
Yes, you
so
are. Yes, you are.
Hopefully, I can maintain that. I think I might have opened it up a little bit more tonight, but we'll see once the points are done.
Great. Well, there's your second place finisher of Christopher Howell, and we thank you for joining us in the booth.
Yeah, no problem. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Well, that was an interesting perspective. We'll try to bring our winner, Harley Barletta, in.
Yeah, we'll see what he thinks about this bottom line because I'm very curious to see what he says about it.
Harley, congratulations.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks.
Hey, you ran a fantastic race, coming alive at the end. We were just speaking with Chris, who finished in second. You were able to hug that bottom line, really regardless if it was a short run, long run, whether if you were battling through the field, whether if you were taking a lead. So give us kind of a rundown of how you were even able to pull away there, because the inside line seemed to be the best line for you.
Yeah, normally the top is the best, and that's what I ran there for the first stint until that first caution, and I was just so slow. And I ran it again during the second stint and just fell back to like ninth or something, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to try the bottom. And as soon as that happened, I was like, boom, that's it. That's what you do, bottom.
Well, it was pretty impressive as you came back up through the field.
Oh, man, I tried, man. There's people just flying everywhere. Not really. Everyone ran a good race.
Yeah, we had a lot of action going on. We had some cars in reverse going down the backstretch trying to be like Lightning McQueen. But you were able to pull away, and you were really there all race long. Let's speak on this. So the one guy that really seemed to have a different strategy was Derek Garrison, and you were racing with him quite a bit this race. Were you worried at all that he was going to try to come back up and potentially take away that win because he was so dominant early in the race with that off-pace strategy, really?
Yeah, as soon as that last caution came out, I was extremely worried. And I knew I was a little bit faster than Chris on the long run there, so I had to get around Chris. But I had to sit behind Chris for a little while because I don't want to run him over. And yeah, I was super scared. I was like, I got to get in front of Chris as soon as possible and go, or this dude's going to catch us.
Well, there was a number of instances towards the end there where we saw some lap traffic come into play, and certainly you navigated through pretty well. I don't think the folks behind you were as lucky through that lap traffic.
I'm going to tell you right now, that lap traffic was scary. That was probably the scariest thing I've experienced in the last couple of weeks.
Well, I think Bristol kind of lends itself to, unless there's a lot of communication going on between drivers, a lot of drivers don't understand where to go on this track and where their preferred line is.
Yeah, the braking points are so different for both lanes. Actually, it's surprising, you're braking a little later when you take the bottom because the way the car loads in the corner, if you hit the angle just perfect, it's nice and easy. The top is just like slowing down. So when guys are weaving lanes on the straightaway, you don't know where they're going to go, and it just is the scariest thing.
Yeah, it really is. But great job tonight. Great win. It's definitely going to move you up in the point standings for sure, because right now before this race you were 13th, sitting on back watching Christopher Howell there kind of pull away. But this is going to put your name moving up there in the point standings. So congratulations on your win. Anybody you want to give thanks to or give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, so I got a special name on my car tonight. It's James Foley. He's my uncle, and he's pretty much at the end of a hard-fought battle with cancer, and he's probably got about a few days left. So this race was for him and his family, and best to them.
That's an amazing tribute there. So that's fantastic. So shout out to you, and prayers up to that family and your uncle as well. But great run, Harley, tonight. That is your winner, doing it for the family there. Awesome job tonight. And I think that is going to conclude tonight's broadcast. So, Rick, it's been a fun one, as typical, and it was Bristol. So we'll see kind of how this racing goes out over the next couple weeks, because we only have 3 races left here in the IWM Warrior, or the iRacing Warriors Motorsports, Cup Series. But if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We were going to be producing this broadcast every Wednesday for the next 3 weeks while this season lasts. But we also have a Grand National Series that we are broadcasting every Tuesday night. So come out and watch that if you haven't already. So thank you all for watching tonight. And Rick, I'll let you send it off.
I'm still speechless from. I wish we had known more about this, about Mr. Foley being on Harley's car. I'm just
Yeah.
a little speechless. So again,
Understood.
thank you, John, and enjoyed our time together broadcasting this. Congratulations to Harley Barletta on the win, and please like and subscribe, whatever stream you're watching here with the IWM Broadcast Network. And thank you and good night.
Yes, thank you. Good night, guys.